A single mother pulled into a small repair shop on a rainy evening. Her old car was making strange noises, and her two children sat quietly in the back seat. She looked worried, counting the few bills in her wallet. An elderly mechanic walked out, wiping his hands with a dirty rag. He smiled warmly and asked, "Car trouble, ma'am?" She nodded and said, "It started making sounds this morning. I'm afraid it's something expensive." The mechanic looked under the hood and worked quietly for almost an hour. The children watched him through the window, curious and tired. When he finished, he walked back to her and said, "It's all fixed now, just a loose belt." The mother asked nervously, "How much do I owe you?" He looked at her, then at the children, and said, "No charge tonight, just promise me you'll drive safe." She was stunned and tried to refuse, but he insisted. Before she left, she handed him a small bag of homemade cookies. "My daughter made these. Please take them," she said softly. The mechanic smiled and said, "Kindness given is never wasted." Then he waved goodbye as they drove away into the night. 2 weeks later, the mechanic didn't open his shop. His neighbors noticed and grew worried. One of them called the local hospital and found out he had collapsed at home. He had no family left to visit him. But that evening, a woman walked into his hospital room holding flowers. It was the single mother with her two children beside her. The mechanic looked up, surprised, and whispered, "How did you find me?" She smiled and said, "The whole town knows the kind old man who never charges anyone." She sat beside him and said, "You helped me when I had nothing, now let me help you." The children placed handmade cards on his bed full of colorful drawings and scribbled thank you messages. Tears rolled down the mechanic's wrinkled face as he held the cards close. The mother had organized neighbors to cover his medical bills and bring him meals every day. She softly said, "You spent your life fixing cars, now let us fix something for you." The mechanic smiled through his tears and whispered, "I thought I was alone." She held his hand and replied, "Not anymore. Drop a heart if you believe kindness always returns when you least expect it."